Welcome to Blueprint IoT and welcome to this 6-month review of the Bambu Lab A1 3D printer. We will cover everything from print quality to software pros and cons, and also some little hardware quirks and how to fix it. But first, Wi-Fi. Most annoying thing that you can only have one Wi-Fi in the settings here. You have to press forget to then install a new Wi-Fi or set up a new Wi-Fi, which is super annoying if you carry your 3D printer around, as I do. Maybe not a very common use case, but I don't like it. One more thing why it's annoying with the Wi-Fi is that every time you switch the Wi-Fi, you need to forget the old Wi-Fi, and therefore you need to re-enter then the password when you're going back, which is kind of a nightmare on this tiny screen. So it would be kind of convenient if you could connect your phone via Bluetooth to the printer. And what I understood is that there is actually a Bluetooth module on board, but it's just not used. So I think the higher tier printers from Bambu, they do have the Bluetooth and can connect to the phone. The settings and everything with the phone and not with the screen would be kind of a cool little improvement. Next up, print quality. Let's take a look on some of the parts here. Here's from the bottom side. This was printed on the support that you just saw, and it's not really great. I mean, yeah, just not nice. I think could be better. The support could provide a better level field where you can print on top, and also here on the edges, as you can see here, it's doing this little weird thing where it's just like basically like a spider web, pulling the strings of filament across the corners, and also here inside down there you can see it pretty well. It's not really nice. I don't know, maybe that's something I'm doing wrong with the settings. It is kind of related to the support structure, so if you have an overhang it tends to do this more. But in general, as you can see, it's really nice. Look at how small this little figure is, how small this little person here is. I printed it in 0.1 millimeter layers, and it turned out quite nice considering that the person is only about 1 centimeter high. But let's move on to a hardware quirk. So first of all, I'm not using the Bambu Lab original filament spool or filament here. So this is a third-party filament, and most importantly a third-party filament spool. While the Bambu Lab filament spools are out of plastic, this one here is like kind of like cardboard or wood, not really type of thing, and you just saw the problem. So obviously, as the filament is being unwinded, it's like moving from left to right inside the spool, and it's creating some sort of pulling force on the spool itself. So the spool wiggles a little bit, and thereby it's kind of changing its orientation. You see I'm printing here a quite large surface, so I'm pulling quite quickly here, and you can see it's then basically pushed or bent against the holder of the spool. And the problem is that there is a little notch, and it's like kind of getting entangled in this notch, and then it's like stopping, and the filament is pulling pretty hard until it's like bumping out again, as just did. Problem being is it's doing this sometimes and then it's stopping the printer. You can see here this little notch on the other side. It's exactly the same on the right hand side. And one solution is just use full spools. As long as the spool is pretty heavy, it tends to lay properly and flat on there. As soon as it's getting like half to last third, it's getting a problem, and it's very light again, it's not a problem again. I also tried once to just press like, okay, problem solved, go ahead, because I wasn't at the printer, and it was a bad idea because it couldn't like grab the filament by itself again, so it was really like disconnected from the nozzle. So while one solution would be just buy the original Bambu Lab filament where this doesn't happen, but obviously I had to find another solution, and I just printed this little sleeve here where it has this little like spacer here on one side to first of all avoid the spool to being able to align too close to the holder, that it can not catch this notch. And you can see here I wiggle around every possible way, but I can't find this notch again. You can also see here that the sleeve itself is lifting the filament a bit, and thereby avoiding it to touch the little notch at the bottom of the spool holder. Here you can see the sleeve after a couple of hours, like 10-20 hours of printing. You can see there's quite some friction there, and you can also see that it was working quite well. One problem was that it's only on one side, the spacer, so I put it on the other side because it was a bit close to the filament being able to just jump off the spool holder. It was still okay, but I wanted to be safe, so I printed one with both sides. For this I needed some support, as you can see here, and that's bringing us to our next topic, which is support. And that's kind of like very nice with the tree structure. It peels off very nicely, but emphasizing this type of surface quality here once more is, while it peels off nicely, you can see here it's not a great surface quality. As comparison, the other side that was printed without the support is turning out much better. But let's move on to the software, more specifically the app. You can set the printing speed here 100, 124, 166% and 50%. But those are the only options you have. So you can go crazy fast, but you can only go to 50%. While, for example, the bed temperature of the heating bed, you can set to any value you want. You get some suggestions, but you can really use every temperature you want. Also for the nozzle, you can set whatever temperature you want. But for the speed, there are only those 4 options. You can check the filament, type of filament you want. There's a specific printing temperature applied. You can select Bambu. You can also some other brands and your just generic one. That's all possible. Even here in this detailed menu, where you can like move the printer head around and so on and up and down, and you can turn the light on and off. You can do all sort of things. Again, you can set the temperature here, but the speed, again, only those 4 levels. So I mean, you can set the speed of the fan here, like the fan speed can be set like in 10% increments, but the speed of the printing process itself, you cannot set at a specific level. I mean, I don't need to have it down to the percent, but I mean, at 50% is like, that's the only slow level you have. And sometimes you want to go like maybe a little slower because you can see that the quality is getting not too good. Maybe you want to have 80% or slower than 50%. I had very often the case that I wanted to have slower than 50%. The only way to do this would be doing this in the Bambu Studio software on your laptop or computer or whatever. So that's something you would need to do in the setup process. So once started printing, you can only go to the 50%, nothing else. And very often I would appreciate something like 25% or something because I really want to make sure that this structure is getting a better quality. Apart from this, you can have the camera live stream, which is pretty cool. You can see here, you can turn on the light. It's always a bit of a delay with the pictures. What I don't like here is a little bit the camera placement or the light placement. It's first of all cool that it has a camera at all at this price point, so we're really complaining on a very high level here. But also the light is great that it's there, but it's not really useful. You can see here, especially at the beginning of the print, it's basically just shining against the bright printer housing, which is reflecting, so you can't really see your print. Even I'm printing here with red. Imagine you print with black filament, you can't really see something there. So yeah, general also the camera placement I think is not really great. Yeah, it should be a little bit higher, even though that's like physically complicated with the printer. So one more thing I want to show you guys is here, when you set the speed now here to 50%, it takes 1 or 2 seconds, as you can see, until it's applying this change, and the 100% speed gauge is changing now to 50%. But over there you can see 4 hours 51 minutes. Now I'm just speeding up 2 times the video, just a little time lapse basically. But you can see it's still 4 hours 55 minutes. It's not changing the actual print rotation. And I just press it again, but still it doesn't work. So I go back to the 100% now, and it takes again a couple of seconds to jump now to the 100%. Here we go. And the time, how long it will print, is just unchanged. So I waited there for a minute before with the time lapse and nothing changed. It's a bit annoying kind of, because now we had to change, and now it applied the 9 hours 40. So now it was working with the change of the printing time. It's kind of weird that it works sometimes and sometimes not, or sometimes it takes just really long to change. It will change eventually, but it takes like sometimes several minutes. It would be great to have this change immediately, because it's just for you to know, okay, when do I need to be at the printer to pull out the part and start the next print or something. So that's kind of an important parameter, and I think could be fixed with a software update. Last but not least, the time lapses that you can do with the camera on board. It's really cool, as you can see here. For what they do for every picture, for every layer, the printer head is going to a home position that it's looking like magic here, which is cool.
What is not really cool is that it's filmed in .avi. So while this is a common video format, it's not really possible to play this, for example, on an iPhone. I don't know how it's on Android, but I think it's similar for many phones. You can't read this type of file. So you need to bring it to your laptop and then you need to convert it, but it's also difficult because if you download it on your phone, but it's a file that you can't read, it's getting messy. So what I had to do here is basically doing a screen video was just the easiest way to get this file properly off my phone and being able to check it and so on. So yeah, that's unfortunate. What I understood is that the reason being is that the microprocessor on board is maybe not supporting this file format like MP4 whatever, which is fine. I mean, again, this is a super cheap printer. It's doing a really great job. That you can do those videos at all is great. It's just a little wish on the wish list.
To sum it up, I'm really satisfied with the Bambu Lab A1. It's a really great printer at an incredible price point. The fact alone that it comes with a camera, that the print plate is included and it can print on both sides, so you probably don't need a new one in a very long time. Its print quality is pretty amazing, really. And all those things are really great. Those small quirks I mentioned in the video are just for you to know what you're getting yourself into. I think it's all fixable. Also, like with the spool, it's kind of my fault, quote unquote, to not use a plastic spool, but you can fix it with a self-printed part easily. So it's all kind of handleable. Question to all of you who have an A1 or know anything about it would be, do you know if there's any way to actually set the speed to below 50% while printing? If you would know a trick or workaround, I would really appreciate it if you could drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think about the Bambu Lab A1 down in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you next time.